Beloved chosen one, have you ever felt that something powerful was waiting to be revealed in your life? Have you sensed a shift, an energy, a divine pull leading you towards something greater? If you're watching this right now, know this. It's not by accident. You were led here for a reason. God has been guiding you, preparing you, and positioning you for a moment just like this. And now that moment has arrived. Before we dive in, I want to take a moment to thank everyone who has generously donated through Super Thanks. Your support not only fuels this mission, but also allows this divine message to reach more of God's chosen ones around the world. May God bless you abundantly for pouring back into this work. Now, listen carefully. Something extraordinary is about to unfold in your life. You have passed the test. You are part of the 1% chosen to leave behind the old, to break free from struggle, to step beyond limitations. The time to exit has come. No longer will you wait. No longer will you only dream of change. You will manifest it. God has already prepared a place for you in this next phase. Can you feel it? The very things you've prayed for, the breakthroughs you've longed for, they are no longer distant. They are already moving into your reality. What's coming next will align everything in your life at a speed you won't believe. But before you step fully into this new chapter, you must understand how this powerful shift works. And once you do, the doors will open. The impossible will become possible. The struggle will end. And you will finally walk in the purpose that was destined for you. If you're ready for this transformation, take a moment now to pause this video and drop the number 777 in the comments. This number carries powerful spiritual energy, signaling your readiness to the universe, aligning your spirit with this divine shift. And remember this, if you are truly a chosen one, you will watch this video all the way to the end. Your spirit already knows this message is for you, but if you're not ready to receive the truth, you may not make it to the final word. For those who are ready, prepare yourself, because your life is about to change forever. Now, let's get into it. God's chosen ones, hurry up, you've passed. Only 1% are chosen. Chosen one, this is the moment you've been prepared for. The trials, the struggles, the storms that once felt like they would break you. Now you see, they were never meant to destroy you. Instead, they were designed to refine you, to strip away all that was unnecessary so that you could emerge as the warrior you were always destined to be. God has been watching, and now He calls you forth. Think about it. Why do you think you endured so much while others lived in ease? Why were you tested again and again while so many seemed to walk an effortless path? This was never about punishment. It was about purification. Like gold must be refined in fire, so too were you purified through your trials. Zechariah 13:9. I will refine them like silver and test them like gold. They will call on my name, and I will answer them. Now the time has come. The door is open. God is not merely nudging you, He is summoning you. This is the moment of elevation, the threshold between your old life and the divine purpose awaiting you. Everything you've endured has brought you to this very point. Can you feel it? The shift is happening. Consider the great ones who came before you. Moses pulled from the waters, raised in Pharaoh's palace, only to be cast into the wilderness before stepping into his true calling. His journey was not easy, but every hardship was necessary. Had he not wandered through the desert, he would never have been ready to stand before Pharaoh and lead God's people to freedom. And now, chosen one, your wilderness season is ending. Like Moses, you stand on the edge of something greater than yourself. Will you step forward? This is not a casual invitation. This is the call that few ever receive. You are set apart. You have been chosen for a destiny far beyond anything the world can comprehend. Many are called, but few are chosen. Matthew 22:14. For many are called, but few are chosen. And you, chosen one, are among the few. So what now? Will you hesitate? Will you allow fear to chain you to the old version of yourself? Or will you rise? The divine is waiting for you to embrace the truth of who you are. No longer will you be bound by the limitations of the past. No longer will you live according to the expectations of the world. You are here for something higher. This is your moment of awakening. The shift that is about to take place in your life is not merely physical. It is spiritual, emotional, and deeply profound. A higher frequency is calling you. A new realm of clarity, peace, and divine authority is opening before you. But to step into it, you must release all that no longer serves you: fear, doubt, hesitation. Chosen one, the chains of fear no longer have power over you. Every doubt, every hesitation, every whisper that once told you you're not ready, they were all illusions meant to keep you from stepping into your divine calling. But now, God is lifting the veil. The shift you are experiencing is not random. It is the divine revealing the strength, resilience, and power that has always been inside you. How many times have you held back because of fear? How many moments did you dim your own light just to fit into a world that was never meant to recognize you? But now, everything is changing. You are being called to see yourself as God sees you, not as the world has labeled you, not as your past mistakes have defined you, but as a magnificent being created with purpose, power, and divine authority. Look at David before he became king. When he stood before Goliath, he was underestimated. The world saw him as just a shepherd boy, but God saw a warrior, a future king. David didn't allow fear to dictate his actions. He trusted in God's vision over his life. 1 Samuel 17:45. You come against me with sword and spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty. He knew that the power within him was far greater than the giant before him. And just like David, you too are stepping into a season where your true strength will be revealed. And this truth is not limited to biblical times. Think about Oprah Winfrey. She was born into poverty, told she would never succeed, and faced rejection countless times. But she refused to let fear define her. She trusted the vision within her and walked forward, even when the world doubted her. Today, she stands as one of the most influential figures in the world, not because life was easy, but because she stepped boldly into her calling. The world may not have recognized you before, but God has always known who you are. He has watched as you fought battles in silence, as you endured struggles that no one saw, as you continued to believe even when everything around you seemed to crumble. And now He is lifting you up. Can you feel it? The transformation has already begun. The fear that once held you back is crumbling. The uncertainty that once clouded your vision is fading. You are rising, and as you do, you will begin to trust the path God has set before you. Even when you don't see the full picture, even when the road ahead feels uncertain, know this: you are being divinely guided. Every step is leading you closer to the purpose you were born to fulfill. Chosen one, this is not just a concept. It is a divine reality unfolding before your very eyes. The shift into the 5D realm is not about escaping the physical world, but about awakening to the deeper truth of your existence. You are no longer bound by the illusions that once limited you. Now, you are stepping into a higher consciousness, a realm where your true potential is fully realized. But what does this mean for you? It means that fear, doubt, and negativity will no longer control your life. It means you will begin to see yourself through God's eyes, powerful, limitless, and deeply connected to the divine. Consider how the Apostle Paul experienced a profound transformation. Before his awakening, he was Saul, a man blinded by the illusion of control, bound by earthly limitations. But when God intervened, his spiritual eyes were opened. Acts 9:18. Immediately, something like scales fell from Saul's eyes, and he could see again. The same is happening to you. The scales are falling. You are beginning to see the world not through the lens of fear, but through the clarity of divine wisdom. And this shift isn't just happening in biblical stories, it is happening to real people in our time. Think about Nikola Tesla, a man ahead of his time. He saw beyond the physical world into a realm of infinite possibilities. He once said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." He understood something that few could grasp. The unseen world is just as real as the one we touch. You too are stepping into a frequency where spiritual clarity and divine truth will guide your every step. Now, imagine a life where doubt no longer paralyzes you, where negativity has no hold over your spirit. In this new dimension, your thoughts, your actions, your relationships will align with a higher divine purpose. You will no longer be trapped by the old paradigms that once confined you. Instead, you will move forward in perfect harmony with God's plan. The fog is lifting. You are awakening to the realization that you are not just a human having a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. The limitations that once defined you were never real to begin with. Chosen one, you have arrived at the threshold of transformation. Everything you have endured has led you to this exact moment. The old chapter is closing and the new one is unfolding before your eyes. But this is not just another phase in life. This is the moment where you step into the fullness of your divine purpose. Can you feel it? The shift, the energy, the undeniable sense that something is different. You have passed through the fire and now you are emerging purified, stronger and ready. Isaiah 43:2. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. Now is the time to release the weight of the past. Every doubt, every fear, every battle you thought had broken you, it was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to prepare you. And now God is confirming what your soul has always known. You were chosen for something greater. Think of Joseph, the dreamer, betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused and imprisoned. It seemed as if his life was nothing but endless suffering. But through it all, God was writing a greater story. Joseph's hardships were not punishments, they were preparations. And when the time was right, he was elevated to the highest position in Egypt, fulfilling the very dream that once seemed impossible. Genesis 50:20. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. And just like Joseph, you are stepping into your elevation. This is not just about leaving behind the old world. It's about stepping into a life of meaning, purpose, and divine alignment. It's about walking with absolute clarity, knowing that God has laid out the path before you. No longer will the burdens of your past weigh you down. No longer will the voices of doubt have power over you. And this truth isn't only found in Scripture, it is seen in the lives of those who dared to step beyond their past. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years imprisoned, yet he walked out not with bitterness, but with purpose. He understood that every hardship, every struggle was shaping him for something greater. Instead of being broken by his past, he became one of the greatest leaders the world has ever known. Chosen one, this is your moment. Every step you take forward is bringing you closer to a life of joy, peace, and fulfillment. The divine energy around you is shifting, guiding you, and opening doors you never thought possible. This is not just about surviving your past struggles, it is about thriving through them. Each challenge was a test of your faith, your strength, and your resilience. And now, the heavens are rejoicing because you have passed. This is your confirmation. You are not just an ordinary person, you are a chosen vessel destined for greatness. Chosen one, God has always seen the greatness within you. Now the time has come for the world to see it too. Pause for a moment. Look back at the road you've traveled. Every battle, every moment of doubt, every tear shed in silence. None of it was wasted. Every obstacle you overcame, every setback you turned into a comeback, was part of the divine process leading you here. Can you feel it? The shift happening within you, the clarity settling into your spirit. The divine confirmation is here. Your calling is no longer distant. It is right in front of you. Jeremiah 1:5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. There is something special about you. You have always felt it, haven't you? The sense that you were different, that you didn't quite fit in with the crowd. That's because you were never meant to. While the world may see you as just another person, God sees you as set apart, chosen, destined for something far beyond the ordinary. This path you are on, it is not for the faint of heart. It is not for those who crave comfort and security. It is for the few, the select, the hand-picked. And that is why, at times, you have felt alone. It is why you have walked through seasons of isolation, wondering why others didn't understand you, why doors closed, why relationships faded. But now, understand this truth. Your isolation was a setup for elevation. Just as Moses spent years in the wilderness before leading a nation, just as David was anointed king but first had to flee for his life, your journey was designed to prepare you for the mantle that is now being placed upon you. And we see this truth even in our time. Think of Elon Musk, a visionary who was ridiculed for his ideas, who was told he was dreaming too big. But his purpose was greater than the limitations others placed on him. He dared to walk a road that few would ever take, and today he has changed industries, inspired millions, and reshaped the future. You, too, have been called to do something that the world may not yet understand, but God does. This is not a coincidence. God has placed a mantle upon you, a divine assignment that transcends the ordinary and calls you into the extraordinary. This is why you must embrace your uniqueness, because it will lead you to the people, opportunities, and experiences that align with your higher purpose. But let me remind you of something. Being chosen does not mean the path will be easy. It means you are capable. It means you were built to withstand the storms, to endure the trials, to rise stronger after every fall. 2 Corinthians 4:8-9. We are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed. Chosen one, have you felt it? The pull, the urgency, the knowing deep within your soul that something is shifting. God's call is here, and there is no time to hesitate. You are not just a passive observer in this world. You are an essential part of God's divine plan. You were set apart for a reason. This is your moment of transition, your time to step forward into the destiny that awaits you. Can you sense how everything in your life has led you to this exact moment? The struggles, the setbacks, the heartbreaks, they were never random. They were preparing you. The doors that closed were not meant to punish you. They were meant to redirect you towards something greater. And now God is saying, it's time to go. Isaiah 43:18-19. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. What is it that you are still holding on to? Is it fear, doubt, the comfort of the familiar? This is not the time to cling to the past. God is commanding you to release everything that no longer serves your divine purpose. Toxic relationships, limiting beliefs, old wounds. It is time to let them go. Just as Abraham was called to leave everything behind and walk into the unknown, so too are you being called into something greater. Genesis 12:1. Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you. Will you trust the calling even when the destination is unclear? Think about Steve Jobs. When he was pushed out of Apple, the very company he co-founded, he could have let bitterness consume him, but instead he embraced the journey ahead. He didn't see his exile as an ending. He saw it as a divine redirection. Years later, when he returned, he was stronger, wiser, and more aligned with his purpose than ever before. What if your setbacks were actually setups for something far greater? Can you see it now? Every challenge, every delay, every closed door, it was all part of a bigger plan. You were never meant to stay where you were. That version of you no longer exists. The shift has already begun. Hurry up. Your breakthrough is waiting. This isn't just an invitation, it's a divine summons. God is calling, and you must be ready to answer. There is no more time to delay, no more waiting for the right moment. This is the right moment. Do you have the courage to step into the unknown? This calling will require everything: your faith, your strength, your willingness to let go of the life you once knew. But you are not alone. God is with you every step of the way. The angels are guiding you, and your path is already being illuminated. What will you choose? To stay behind in the safety of the past, or to walk boldly into the destiny that was always meant for you? This is the moment that changes everything. The call has been made. The door is open. Chosen one, have you ever felt like the world around you isn't real? Like something has been keeping you trapped in a cycle of limitation, fear, and struggle? That feeling is not a coincidence. It is divine insight. The reality you've known, full of chaos and disillusionment, was never meant for you. It was an illusion, a matrix designed to keep you small, to keep you unaware of the extraordinary power within you. But now, God is calling you to break free. Can you sense it? The restlessness in your soul, the deep knowing that there is something more. That is the call. For too long, the world has tried to define you, tried to confine you within expectations, limitations, and cycles of suffering. But God never created you to be trapped. John 8:32. Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Will you continue living in the illusion, or will you step into your divine truth? Think about Moses and the Israelites in Egypt. They were enslaved for generations, conditioned to believe they would never be free. But God had another plan. He raised up a leader, he performed miracles, and he led them out of captivity. But even as they left, many struggled to believe in their freedom. They longed for the familiar, even when the familiar was bondage. Does this sound familiar to you? Are you still holding on to the old world, even though you know it no longer serves you? The time has come. The old world is collapsing. It can no longer hold you. The fears, the doubts, the toxic influences, leave them behind. They were never yours to carry. God has been preparing you for something greater. Isaiah 61. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Even in modern times we see this pattern. Keanu Reeves, a man who suffered deep personal losses, refused to let the pain define him. He chose a different path, one of humility, wisdom, and quiet strength. Instead of being consumed by grief, he became a beacon of inspiration, proving that there is life beyond suffering. What if your struggles were never meant to break you, but to awaken you? Are you ready to escape the matrix, to leave behind the false reality and step into the limitless truth of who you are? When you walk away from the illusions, you will enter a world of divine clarity, peace, and power. Chosen one, why has the world been so unkind to you? Why have you faced rejection, betrayal, and hardship when all you ever did was stay true to your path, because you were never meant to belong to this world. You were never meant to be understood by those who cannot see beyond the surface. You are different, set apart, chosen, and now God is offering you something greater, a way out, a divine escape from everything that has tried to hold you down. Can you sense it? The shift, the pull towards something higher? This is not just about leaving behind physical struggles, it is a spiritual liberation. No longer will you be bound by the pain and suffering of a world that never truly valued you. God is saying, enough, it's time to rise. John 16:33. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. Have you ever wondered why some of the strongest souls endure the greatest suffering? Look at Harriet Tubman. She was born into slavery, knowing nothing but suffering, rejection, and cruelty. But she refused to be defined by her chains. She escaped, and instead of seeking comfort in her own freedom, she risked everything to help others find their way out as well. She saw beyond her suffering and stepped into her divine calling. And now, chosen one, it is your turn. Do you realize what's happening? The pain you endured was never meant to break you. It was meant to prepare you. The suffering shaped you, refined you, and now it is time to release it. You are not who you used to be. That version of you no longer exists. The fears, the doubts, the toxic cycles, they no longer have a place in your life. The world may have tried to silence you, but God is elevating you. You are stepping into a new reality, a higher state of being, one filled with divine wisdom, love, and peace. The life you were always meant to live is waiting for you. Romans 8:18. I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. So, will you take this step? Will you allow yourself to be free? The suffering of the past no longer serves you. The chains have already been broken. The only thing left is for you to walk away. Chosen one, how many times have people mocked you, disrespected you, and tried to break your spirit? How many times did you stay silent, enduring their negativity, hoping they would see your heart? But now, God is calling you to leave them behind. Their words, their opinions, their judgment, they no longer hold power over you. They were never meant to come with you on this journey. 2 Corinthians 6:17. Therefore, come out from them and be separate, says the Lord. Touch no unclean thing, and I will receive you. Can you see it now? The ridicule, the rejection, the betrayal, it wasn't about you. It was about them. They could not handle your light. They saw something in you they could never understand, and instead of embracing it, they tried to tear you down. But what they didn't realize is that God was watching the whole time, and now He is lifting you beyond their reach. Have you ever noticed that those who carry the greatest purpose often face the most opposition? Look at Galileo. He dared to stand for truth when the entire world called him a fool. He was mocked, persecuted, and cast aside. But time revealed that he was right all along. The same will be true for you. The world may have ridiculed you for your beliefs, your dreams, and your authenticity, but truth always rises. So, chosen one, why are you still holding on to those who tried to tear you down? The people who disrespected you, doubted you, and diminished your worth were never meant to be part of your destiny. Stop trying to prove yourself to those who were blind to your value. It's time to make room for those who will celebrate your greatness. This is your season of separation. God is cutting away the distractions, the betrayals, and the toxic influences. He is surrounding you with divine protection and aligning you with people who truly see you. The ones who mocked you were never part of your future. The ones who tried to hold you back will watch from a distance as God elevates you. Do you feel the shift? The burdens of your past, the mistakes you've made, the regrets you've carried, None of that defines you anymore. Isaiah 43:18-19. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. This is your moment to transcend it all. The past has no power over your future. You are not who you used to be. God has chosen you to rise, to ascend, to step fully into the purpose that was always meant for you. Will you let go? Will you trust that the people meant for you are on their way? The old world is fading behind you, and a new life, filled with love, respect, and divine alignment, is waiting. Chosen one, have you ever felt like there was more to you than what the world could see? That deep inside, you were meant for something far greater than the limitations placed upon you. This is transcendence. This is the moment when you leave behind the old self, the one that doubted, the one that feared, the one that was bound by past failures, and step fully into your divine power. Nothing from your past can hold you anymore. What if every setback was only preparing you for this breakthrough? The moments of disappointment, the struggles, the unanswered prayers, they were never meant to break you. They were meant to refine you. And now, chosen one, you're stepping into a new chapter, one where your light shines brighter than ever before. Psalm 37 verse 6. He will make your righteous reward shine like the dawn, your vindication like the noonday sun. Can you feel the shift? The weight of the past has lifted. You have transcended it. You are no longer trapped by regret, no longer haunted by the shadows of failure. God has freed you, and now you are exactly where you need to be. But what about your body? What about the signs of time, the challenges, the wear and tear of life? God is reminding you, your body may have aged, but your soul remains forever young. The exit from physical limitation is not just a metaphor, it is a spiritual truth. You are being called to rise beyond the confines of the flesh and into the limitless potential of your divine being. What if age was never meant to define you? Think of Mahatma Gandhi. In his later years, when most would slow down, he led a movement that changed the world. He didn't let the limits of the body stop the mission of the soul. And neither should you. Your soul is ageless, filled with boundless energy, and right now you are stepping into a season of spiritual rejuvenation. Are you ready to embrace this transformation? The physical world may have told you that strength fades with time, that energy declines, that limitations increase. But the divine says otherwise. Isaiah 40:31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. This is the higher dimension you are about to enter. You are not bound by weakness, not controlled by age, not confined by the physical form. Your soul is limitless, and through this divine energy, you will experience true freedom. Do you feel it? The renewal, the power, the calling to rise beyond what the world says is possible. This is your moment. This is your time. Your spirit is stronger than ever, and your divine purpose is waiting. Have you ever wondered why society places so much emphasis on aging, as if it defines who you are? The world teaches you to fear the passing of time, to believe that your best days are behind you. But what if that was never true? What if your soul was always meant to remain ageless, limitless, and vibrant? Chosen one, let go of the worries about aging and embrace the divine power within you. Take a moment to reflect on everything you've endured. How many times have you thought you wouldn't make it through? Yet here you are, stronger, wiser, unshaken. God has carried you through storms you thought would destroy you. Psalm 103:5. He satisfies your desires with good things so that your youth is renewed like the eagles. Can you see it now? Your breakthrough is not just about leaving the past behind. It's about stepping into something greater than you have ever known. You are not merely surviving. You are stepping into the full manifestation of your divine gifts. The power, the wisdom, the enlightenment that once felt distant is now within reach. What if gratitude was the key to unlocking even more blessings? Right now, take a deep breath. Thank God for the strength, the faith, and the resilience that brought you here. Your journey has not been easy, but every step has been worth it. The road behind you may have been filled with challenges, but the road ahead is overflowing with divine favor. Have you ever noticed how those who embrace gratitude attract even more abundance? Think of Maya Angelou, a woman who faced immense hardships, yet she never let bitterness consume her. Instead, she chose to rise. She chose to be thankful, and through her gratitude, her wisdom, and her divine calling, she inspired generations. You too are standing at the doorway of something extraordinary. This is not just the end of one chapter, it is the beginning of a new existence, one filled with purpose, joy, and complete fulfillment. Everything you have prayed for, dreamed of, and worked toward is now unfolding before you. Can you feel the shift happening? The past no longer defines you. The pain, the disappointments, the struggles, they have no power in this new dimension. You are stepping into a higher realm of clarity, wisdom, and divine understanding. The world is about to open up to you in ways you never imagined. Your breakthrough has arrived. It's not something you're waiting for, it's already here. The transition is happening now. The limitations that once bound you are breaking apart, and you are stepping into a life of complete spiritual liberation. Isaiah 40:31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. And what of your body? Yes, time passes, and yes, the body changes, but your soul is eternal. The struggles, the sickness, the weariness of the flesh, they were only fleeting phases. You are more than this physical form. Your spirit is forever young, vibrant, filled with the unlimited power of divine energy. The world may see limitations, but God sees boundless potential. The version of yourself that carried burdens, that suffered under the weight of the past, is no longer who you are. Chosen one, the weariness, the aches, the struggles of a body that seems to grow weaker with time. But what if I told you that you are not your body, that the physical vessel you've known is only a temporary shell, but your soul, your true essence, is eternal, vibrant, and limitless. This is the moment of transcendence, the moment when you step beyond the restrictions of the flesh and into the full power of your divine energy. The 5D shift is not just a concept, it is the reality you are about to enter. In this realm, your body is no longer the defining factor of your existence. Your soul, untouched by age, sickness, or fatigue, is ready to take the lead. Can you imagine a life where you are no longer weighed down by the burdens of the physical world, where you move with ease, where you feel pure vitality, where nothing holds you back? This is not a dream, it is the truth of who you are becoming. 2 Corinthians 4:16. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. What if everything you've endured was only meant to strengthen your spirit? The illnesses, the fatigue, the hardships, they were never meant to define you. They were meant to prepare you. And now you are being called to release those burdens, to step fully into a state of spiritual rejuvenation. Think about Helen Keller. Born into a world of darkness and silence, she could have accepted her physical limitations, but she didn't. Instead, she transcended them, proving that the soul is far more powerful than the body. She became a voice for millions, an inspiration that defied every expectation. What if your challenges were never meant to break you, but to awaken the limitless potential within? Can you feel it? The shift happening inside you, the renewal of your spirit. This is not the end. It is the beginning of a new existence, a life where you are free from the struggles of the physical world. Your soul's energy is infinite, untouched by time, filled with boundless light. And in this new realm, you're stepping into a version of yourself that has always been waiting to be unleashed. Isaiah 40:29. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. So, will you embrace it? Will you step beyond the illusions of limitation and claim the vitality, the power, and the freedom that has always been yours? This is the evolution of your spirit, the moment when you're no longer bound by anything of this world. Chosen one, have you taken a moment to truly thank God for this breakthrough? To acknowledge that you have been chosen to step into a reality where your soul is free, youthful, and no longer bound by the limitations of the physical world. This is your divine rebirth. This is the moment where your soul shines brighter than ever before, untouched by the weight of time, pain, or fear. Can you see how far you've come? How many nights did you cry in silence, wondering if things would ever change? How many times did people mock you, belittle you, and laugh at your dreams? They doubted you. They misunderstood you. They tried to break your spirit, but they failed, because here you stand, stronger than ever, rising into your divine destiny. Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. Why did you ever seek their approval? Why did you waste precious time trying to prove yourself to people who could never see your worth? You spent years longing for acceptance from those who were never meant to walk this journey with you. But now, God is telling you to release them. They no longer have a place in your life, because you are stepping into something far greater than their limited vision could ever comprehend. Have you noticed a pattern? The greatest visionaries, the most powerful souls, were always mocked before they rose to their true greatness. Look at Vincent van Gogh. His art was rejected, his genius ignored, and he died believing he had failed. But today, his work is among the most celebrated in history. The world only recognizes greatness after it has tried to destroy it. And you, chosen one, are no different. The world of mockery, of rejection, of disrespect, it is behind you now. You are walking into a higher realm where your true value will be recognized, and not by those who once laughed at you, but by those who truly see the light within you. Are you ready to embrace this shift? God is surrounding you with people who will uplift you, who will support you, who will walk with you in alignment with your divine purpose. The ones who mocked you will watch from a distance, unable to comprehend how far you've come. Deuteronomy 28:13. The Lord will make you the head, not the tail. If you pay attention to the commands of the Lord your God, you will always be at the top, never at the bottom. So, chosen one, will you keep looking back at those who never valued you, or will you step forward into the life where your true worth is finally seen? The choice is yours. But know this, the past can no longer hold you. Chosen one, have you ever imagined a future where your worth is not just recognized but celebrated? A life where you no longer shrink yourself to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. That future is no longer a dream. It is your reality. Are you ready to embrace it? This is your divine call to step into a life free from the judgments of others. A life where you are honored, respected, and valued. Every ounce of negativity, every painful word, every moment where you were overlooked, none of it has power over you anymore. God is calling you higher. Trust that your path is now filled with love, clarity, and the recognition you have always deserved. 1 Peter 5:10. And after you have suffered a little while, the God of all grace, who has called you to his eternal glory in Christ, will himself restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish you. Can you feel the liberation? This is not just a change in your environment. This is a total transformation of your soul. The 5D shift is more than just moving forward. It is an elevation into a new level of consciousness. You are stepping into a realm where divine wisdom flows freely, where your mind is clear, and where peace becomes your permanent state. What if I told you that you are stepping into an entirely new way of seeing the world, no longer bound by the physical senses, no longer deceived by illusions? You will recognize the divine design behind everything. Every experience, every connection, every challenge was leading you here. Can you see it now? Think of Nikola Tesla, a visionary who understood the unseen forces of the universe. He saw energy, frequency, and vibration as the keys to unlocking higher realms of existence. While the world was focused on what was visible, he was tapped into something far greater, just as you are now. The shift you are experiencing is real. Your soul is aligning with the divine frequency of love, and you are stepping into a peace that surpasses all understanding. Philippians 4:7. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. So what does this mean for you? It means you are no longer merely a human struggling through the chaos of life. You are a divine being, capable of limitless growth, wisdom, and transformation. Are you prepared to walk this path? The journey ahead is one of continual elevation. You will evolve in ways you never thought possible, accessing levels of understanding, clarity, and joy that were once beyond your reach. This is your moment of spiritual awakening, your divine breakthrough, your final shift into the person you were always meant to become. Chosen one, have you taken a moment to thank God for this divine shift? Have you truly allowed yourself to feel the weight of the past lifting, the burdens dissolving, and the clarity settling in? Because this is it. This is your moment. You are stepping into a higher dimension, one where your soul is exactly where it needs to be. Can you feel the difference? The confusion, the chaos, the negativity that once surrounded you, it no longer has a place in your life. You are not the same person you used to be. God has called you out of the old world, out of the cycle of struggle, and into a new reality filled with peace, purpose, and divine wisdom. 2 Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come, the old has gone, the new is here. Have you ever noticed how the most powerful transformations come after the most difficult trials? Think of Malcolm X, a man who started in a world of struggle, lost in confusion, but through a deep spiritual awakening, he saw the truth. He left behind an old world that no longer served him and stepped fully into his divine mission. What if your struggles were never meant to break you, but to prepare you for the world you're about to step into? Are you ready to embrace this transformation with gratitude and excitement? The journey ahead is one of endless possibilities, divine favor, and spiritual enlightenment. The old world has taken enough from you. It has drained your energy, weighed you down, and kept you locked in constant struggle. But that chapter is over. Can you hear God's call? He is telling you, leave it all behind. The pain, the exhaustion, the disappointments, they no longer serve you. The transition you're about to make is not just a small change. It is a radical departure from everything that once held you back. Will you take the step? Will you leave behind the old and walk fully into your new existence? Because, chosen one, your time has come. The door is open, the path is clear, and the life you were destined for is waiting. Now go and embrace the divine reality that was always meant for you. Chosen one, the shift, the breaking of chains, the weight of the old world falling away. This is your divine moment of liberation. You are standing at the threshold of something far greater than anything you've ever known. The toxic influences of the past no longer have power over you. The confusion, the struggles, the negativity, they are behind you now. What would your life look like if love, truth, and divine alignment were your only guiding forces? Imagine waking up each day with a deep sense of peace, knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. That is the world you are stepping into. No longer will you be pulled in different directions by the chaos of this world. The divine is guiding you into a place where your soul can finally rest and thrive. John 14:27. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. Have you thanked God for this divine transition? This is not just another phase of life. This is the breakthrough you have been waiting for. The long journey, the struggles, the pain, it has all led to this moment. You're stepping into a new era, one where the limitations of the past no longer define you. For so long, have you felt restricted by your circumstances, by the expectations of others, by the limitations of your physical body. But now God is calling you to break free, to step beyond fear, beyond doubt, beyond everything that has ever held you back. Are you ready? Think of Walt Disney. He was once told he had no creativity, no talent, rejected by those who could not see his vision. But he refused to accept their reality. He saw something greater, and because of that, he built a world beyond what anyone thought possible. What if your breakthrough is the key to unlocking a future you never imagined? This is not just a change in circumstances. This is a spiritual revolution. The old restrictions, whether physical, emotional, or mental, are dissolving. God is lifting you into a place of infinite possibility, where the only limits are the ones you place on yourself. Psalm 37:4. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. What will you do now? Will you step into this new era of freedom, or will you cling to what no longer serves you? Because the life ahead of you is one of abundance, peace, and limitless potential. This breakthrough is not something you have to earn. It is your divine inheritance. Thank God for the freedom that is unfolding in your life. Can you feel it? The power within you, the shift happening in your spirit, the transformation taking place at this very moment. The best is yet to come, and it is all within your reach. You've walked through darkness, you've endured pain, but now you are rising. God is calling you to step into your divine power. Your soul is ready to soar. Chosen one, have you ever sensed that something powerful was waiting to awaken inside of you? A divine force that no pain, no struggle, and no hardship could ever extinguish. That power has always been within you. It is the fire that has kept you going when everything around you was trying to break you. It is the resilience that allowed you to rise after every fall. And now, that power is ready to be fully unleashed. 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Can you feel the shift? The weight of self-doubt, hesitation, and fear is falling away. The old you, the one who questioned their worth, who second-guessed their calling, is gone. You are stepping into a new energy, one that is fueled by divine purpose. You will move with confidence, you will speak with authority, and you will walk with certainty. This is not arrogance, this is alignment. When you step into your true power, you become unstoppable. How many times have you held yourself back because of what others might think? How often have you dimmed your light just to make others comfortable? But chosen one, you were never meant to fit in. You were not created to conform. You were created to rise. This is your moment of power. This is when the life you've always envisioned starts to manifest before your very eyes. But first, you must let go. You have carried the wounds of your past for too long. The pain, the rejection, the disappointments, they have shaped you, but they no longer define you. God is not calling you to live in the shadow of your trauma. He is calling you to heal, to break free, to walk forward without the weight of the past holding you down. Psalm 147:3. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. What if healing was never about forgetting the past, but about freeing yourself from its control? What if the struggles you endured were not meant to weaken you, but to refine you? The time has come to release it all. Have you ever seen someone turn their pain into greatness? Think of Oprah Winfrey, born into poverty, abused, rejected, and told she would never amount to anything. But she did not let her past define her. She took the very things that were meant to break her and turned them into fuel for her destiny. She stepped into her divine power and changed the world. What if your greatest purpose is on the other side of your healing? For too long, you have been in survival mode. But now, God is calling you to something greater. Not just survival, but transformation. Not just healing, but wholeness. Isaiah 61:1. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives and release from darkness for the prisoners. You have carried burdens that were never meant for you. The pain, the guilt, the shame. It is time to let them go. You were never meant to live in the past. You were meant to be free. Can you feel it? The chains are breaking, the weight is lifting, and the divine light is shining through the cracks of your old wounds. This is your moment of release. No longer bound by what happened before. No longer carrying what was never yours to hold. But will you embrace it? Will you finally let go? This is your breakthrough, a divine healing that sets you free from everything that once kept you trapped. A moment so powerful that it will redefine your entire existence. Philippians 3:13-14. Forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead, I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus. The pain no longer serves you. The guilt no longer serves you. The struggle no longer serves you. It is time to move forward. Thank God for this healing. Thank Him for the freedom that is unfolding in your life right now. Are you ready to step forward? The chains are broken, the past is behind you, and the new life you were always meant to live is waiting. But will you claim it? This is your moment. This is your divine transformation. Step forward. Your soul is ready to soar. Beloved chosen one, God has been preparing you for this moment. The journey that led you here was not in vain. Every challenge, every tear, and every hardship was part of the divine plan to strengthen you, refine you, and prepare you for something far greater than you ever imagined. And now, the time has come. This is your moment to rise. You are no longer bound by the past. The pain that once held you back no longer defines you. The struggles you endured were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to awaken the power that has always been inside you. And now, that power is being fully released. Matthew 5:16. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. This is your divine invitation. God is calling you to step forward into a life of purpose, abundance, and divine glory. The breakthrough you've been waiting for is not just a shift in your circumstances. It is the beginning of an entirely new chapter in your spiritual journey. Can you feel it? The change happening within you? The peace settling in your soul? The freedom washing over you? This is the moment when your light will shine brighter than ever before. You've waited for this, you've prayed for this, and now it is finally here. Embrace it. Step into your divine purpose with gratitude, with joy, and with unwavering faith. Thank God for this invitation to rise. Thank Him for the transformation that is unfolding in your life right now. You are walking away from pain and into a new phase of spiritual liberation, clarity, and divine empowerment. The burdens you carried, the emotional scars, the physical struggles, the deep wounds of the soul, they no longer belong to you. This is your time to release them. Let go of what has weighed you down and step into the freedom that God has been preparing for you all along. As you embrace this journey of liberation, your soul will ascend to a higher level of spiritual awareness. No longer will you be confined by the limitations of the past. You are stepping into divine alignment, where peace, wisdom, and clarity will guide your every step. This is the season where everything changes. This is the season where you rise into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. If this message has touched your spirit and you feel led to support this mission, you can do so through Super Thanks. Your generosity allows this message to reach even more chosen ones, helping others find the strength, clarity, and encouragement they need to step into their divine calling. However, whether you choose to donate or not, know that you are deeply appreciated. Your presence here, your willingness to listen, to reflect, and to embrace your divine path, that alone is a blessing. Your journey matters. You are valuable. You are loved. May God bless you abundantly. May He fill your life with peace that surpasses all understanding, overflow your spirit with joy, and surround you with His divine protection. May your steps be ordered by the Lord, and may every door that is meant for you open with ease. May your heart be filled with courage. May your mind be filled with clarity. May your soul be filled with purpose. May your future be filled with endless divine opportunities, favor, and breakthrough. You are not alone. You are never forgotten. You are divinely chosen. Now, chosen one, walk forward in faith, for the best is yet to come.